Hey everyone, welcome back to Furious Cars. And today, we're stepping away from the four wheels and jumping straight onto two, because I've got something special for you. This is about the brand new 2026 Honda Wave 125i. And let me tell you, this is not just another small commuter bike. It's one of those machines that combines style, practicality, and reliability in a way that just makes sense. So, before we kick into full gear, make sure you smash that subscribe button, because I've got a ton of upcoming reviews, and you don't want to miss the next ones. Now, let's right into it. The Honda Wave 125i has always been a big name in Southeast Asia, and honestly, anywhere it's been sold. It's known for its bulletproof reliability, fantastic fuel efficiency, and that no-fuss daily usability. And for 2026, Honda has given it a fresh update, but not in a way that messes with the formula people love. Instead, they've taken what works and just made it sharper, more efficient, and a bit more tech-savvy. Right off the bat, the proportions are perfect for a commuter bike. It's slim enough to slice through traffic like a hot knife through butter, yet still feels solid and planted when you're cruising at higher speeds. The seating position is classic Honda Commuter, upright, comfortable, with just enough legroom even for taller riders. The seat cushioning is softer this time around, so long rides or extended daily commutes won't leave you feeling like you just got off a wooden bench. Now, let's talk about performance, because while the Wave 125i isn't designed to be a street racer, the heart of this bike, the 125cc fuel-injected, air-cooled, single-cylinder engine, is all about smooth and dependable power delivery. It's producing around 9 horsepower, which doesn't sound like much on paper, but trust me, on a bike this light, just about 106 kilograms, it's more than enough to zip through city streets and even handle some highway stretches without breaking a sweat. Honda has tuned it for efficiency, so throttle response is clean, gear shifts are buttery smooth, and it just feels eager to go wherever you point it. One of the things that Honda nailed here is the fuel economy. We're talking about 60-65 kilometers, L, in real-world riding, which is just incredible. You fill up that 5.4-liter tank, and you can easily go over 300 kilometers before even thinking about refueling. For daily riders, that's a huge win. The suspension setup is pretty straightforward. Telescopic front forks and twin rear shocks, but they've been tuned for better comfort over rougher roads. If you live somewhere with a mix of smooth tarmac and the occasional pothole surprise, this bike can handle it without shaking your bones. The braking system uses a disc brake at the front and a drum at the rear, which is more than enough stopping power for the kind of riding this bike is meant for. Where the 2026 model really steps things up is in its design and tech. The styling is sharper, with a modern headlamp design and LED lighting for both the headlight and taillight. The instrument panel is now fully digital, showing speed, fuel level, trip meter, and even a gear position indicator. These little touches make it feel more premium than you'd expect from a bike in this category. Storage is another area where the Wave 125i shines. Under the seat, you've got enough space to store a half-face helmet, some groceries, or your daily essentials. There's also a small hook up front for hanging a bag. Simple, but super useful. On the road, this bike just feels easy. And I mean that in the best way possible. The clutch is light, the gearbox is precise, and the engine is so refined that you could almost forget it's running when idling. It's quiet, smooth, and yet responsive enough to make your commute a little bit fun. Whether you're weaving through rush hour traffic or cruising along a country road, it feels like it was built for exactly that. Now, some people might compare it to scooters in the same category, but the Wave has that traditional motorcycle feel with a manual gearbox, which gives you more control and a better connection to the ride. Plus, it's way more fuel efficient than most scooters, and maintenance is minimal. This is the kind of bike you buy, ride for years, and it just keeps going. Let's go over the specs for the 2026 Honda Wave 125i. Engine, 125cc, air-cooled, single-cylinder, 4-stroke, fuel-injected. Power output, 9 harp. Transmission, 4-speed manual. Fuel tank capacity, 5.4 liters. Fuel economy, 65 kilometers. 2. Load. Front suspension, telescopic forks. Rear suspension, twin shock absorbers, front brake, disc, rear brake, drum, weight, 106 kilogram, lighting, full LED headlamp, tail light, instrument panel, fully digital with gear indicator. It's not trying to be a sports bike. It's not trying to be a luxury tour. It's just being the best commuter it can be, and that's exactly why people love it. In terms of riding feel, I noticed the 2026 update also improved low-end torque just slightly. This means you can pull away from traffic lights with less throttle, and you don't need to downshift as often when going up small inclines. For city riding, that's a huge improvement in comfort. Maintenance is a breeze. Oil changes, chain lubrication, and regular checks. That's pretty much all it asks from you. And because it's a Honda, you know parts availability is never going to be a headache. This is also the kind of bike that appeals to a really wide range of riders. Younger riders will appreciate its style and tech, while more experienced ones will value its practicality and reliability. And if you're someone who just wants a second bike for short trips, the Wave 125i is perfect. So, to wrap this up, the 2026 Honda Wave 125i is one of those bikes that just makes sense. It's efficient, stylish, comfortable, and built to last. It's not going to break your wallet at the fuel pump. It's not going to drain your savings with maintenance. And it's going to keep going for years if you take care of it. The expected price for the 2026 Honda Wave 125i is around $1,820 USD in international markets, which makes it a great deal for what you're getting. And honestly, if you're looking for a no-nonsense commuter that still has a little style and tech to keep it interesting, this is a bike you should definitely consider.